Please.
Our Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for letting us group together today on this council and on protect all Turkey citizens as the work we go forward is good for our tribal people. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Shelley, would you conduct roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Keith Austin.
Here.
Josh Sam. Danny Callison. Here. Sean Crittenden. Here. Joe Deere.
Aye.
Mike Dobbins. Here. Rex Jordan. Here. Johnny Kidwell.
Here.
Darrell Legg.
Here.
Dora Petzkowski. Here. Mike Shambaugh. Here. Melvina Shotpouch. E.O. Smith. Here. Condessa Teehee. Victoria Vasquez. We have a quorum.
Thank you. This is a simple business, I assume, today. One thing, one matter, and it's a PAC list, and it's a pretty good sized list here. Councilor Shambaugh, would you open that for us, please?
Yes, this is recommendations for political contributions, and I put that in form of a motion.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we've got it's open in a second, so any public comments? Any comments? Any questions? Councilor Teehee.
It appears as though there was an update in the list, and I was hoping you might speak to that briefly.
Thank you. I'm happy to speak to that. So we had included support for the candidate running for Congressional District 2, Avery Fricks, in the line item for the revitalization fund. And so we took from that $5,800 to go direct it to his campaign. That was the single update.
So it's the same amount. You didn't change the bottom line.
No, same amount.
It just shifted from a PAC.
Yeah, we
to
just
the candidate.
we just made it very more specific that $5,800 was to go to Avery Fricks
Okay,
instead of including it in a larger package.
thank you. Yes, Mr. Kidwell?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ma'am, I just want to say thank you for doing that. I think that's a subtle but an important change. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Dobbins?
Yes, Kim, I was just wanting to ask on the U.S. Senate donations, of course, they're famously 50-50 divided, but I noticed in this election cycle, we decided to give 16 to one party and 5 to the other. How did that kind of come about?
Well, we've got 50-50 as you just described. We also gave considerably for the National Republican Campaign Committee and for the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. We try to be even also with the parties that we give to, and so just overall, we look at the overall picture in order to create that equity, that 50-50.
Just one
Piece.
specific question. I
Okay.
noticed U.S. Senator Raphael Warnock, $5,000, and he's only been seated about 18 months.
He's considered a vulnerable member, and he's a priority of leadership, so whenever we make up our list, we also take into account committee composition, leadership priorities, their voting record, that kind of thing, and so that was flagged for us as a member that was vulnerable.
Okay, yeah, he's in a high-profile race against football legend Herschel Walker.
Yes.
From Georgia. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Just real quick. I think that's a good move also. I want to get in with Councilman Kidwell, as Avery Fricks has been strong on tribal issues, and I'm glad you put him in, included him.
Are there others? Yes?
Now, this is considered a PAC donations, and this council just voted in our own elections to prevent PAC donations being used in our own elections. So I think if we're going to keep some consistency with that change in our law, then we should also reflect that as a governing to prevent PAC donations going and affecting other elections, just to kind of keep some congruency on that. That's the reason why I won't be voting for the PAC list, not for any one particular thing, but just as a whole spectrum to keep consistency with what we're doing in our own law.
Well,
Thank
for
you,
your
Counselor.
comment.
If I could respond to that. I appreciate the counselor's comment, but the federal law does still allow that even if the tribal law has changed.
Correct. Is there other questions? Yes, Counselor Deere.
Yeah, I'm glad that we made some changes, and looking those, I actually like the 50-50 too, you know? I like that across the board. I mean, it shows we're not one way or the other.
Yeah.
We look directly at who's in favor of supporting Indians and not anti-sovereignty. But yeah, I do appreciate that change with Frick, so that's
you,
all I want to
Counselor.
say. I just really like that part of it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Any others? Well, seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? For the record, Counselor Notfire is not a member of this committee, to my knowledge. So his
Don't have to
vote
be a
will-
member of the committee to have voting.
I'm sorry?
Don't have to be a member of the committee to still be able to vote.
Yeah, well, you can say whatever you want, but you have to be a member of the committee to vote, for your vote to count. And you're not a member of this committee. So, well, that's the record. I'm not making things up. So, it is approved. Thank you. Any announcements? What would that be? All right, folks. This meeting is adjourned. Aye.